Hi everyone, welcome back. I've drawn out a few more hellebores here to start us off today, and I quite like this photo. They've got nice size and shape to them and also facing in different directions. I'm using a wax stick, or you can use a small birthday candle. Just make sure it's white and doesn't have any colour on it. I'm applying the wax to the centre of the flowers where the ends of the stamens are, just a few random marks, keeping them like short dabs. This will act as a resist, so when we add paint on top of it, we'll still see the white of the paper showing through where we've put the wax. Now I'm going to use these lovely Liquitex inks, a muted pink and a muted violet, both perfect colours for this. Make sure you give them a good shake first though, just to get the pigment well mixed. I'm going to start by decanting a bit of the ink onto a palette, just so that I can dilute it, and then I can use it a little bit more watered down for these first layers. But first I'm going to add a little bit of water to these central areas and drop a touch of green gold watercolour into it, or it can be any yellow, doesn't really matter, whatever you've got to hand. I'm also adding in a little bit of hooker's green too. We're just aiming to get a yellowy green colour into these stamens. Don't be too detailed with it, just allow the colour to run into the water wet on wet. I'm applying a bit more water to the petals now and adding in the diluted pink ink. You can see it spreads quite quickly, which is another good reason to start off with just the lighter tones first. And I'm lifting off any excess ink with just a clean damp brush. So if it's spreading into areas that you don't want it, just lift it out. If it makes any additional marks in the petals while you're doing this, don't worry, just try not to be too precious about it. This is a loose way of working. Coming in with a more concentrated ink now, using it direct from the dropper. This is to build up the strength of tone in the centre of the flower. We're still working wet on wet at this stage. And you can really start to see how effective the wax is now, resisting the ink and preserving those white areas. I'm gently encouraging the spread of the ink here by attaching little bits of water to it, bringing it out into areas I want. Just going to make these centres even stronger now by dropping in some of the violet ink direct with the dropper. So that's the centres more or less done, and I'm going to use the diluted pink ink now from the palette and a detail brush to add some touches of colour to the edges of the petals. Remembering to soften any marks that I feel are a bit too hard with just a touch of water. Now for some leaves, again adding the water in first and then dropping in some yellow and green watercolour. Try not to be too precious about edges. It doesn't matter if you go over the lines or if little bits of white are left showing. It all adds to the looseness and freshness of what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to try some of these Inktense pencils now in similar colours, just to see if they can help me bring a little bit more definition to it. I'm trying them on a dry surface first to see what sort of mark that makes, whether I like it or not. Then dipping the tip of the pencil in water, see what sort of mark that makes, and then finally trying it on a wet surface. And I think I'm preferring this last one where the marks are appearing stronger. Remember, this is what our sketchbooks are for trying things and finding out what we like and what we don't. It isn't about producing a finished painting as such, it's more about playing with these different materials and seeing how they interact with each other. Sketching in some loose outlines for the leaves now, still using the Inktense pencils. Trying not to be too tight or specific here, allowing gaps of the light from the paper to show through. And just continuing to play now between adding bits with the Inktense pencils and softening marks where I feel it needs it with a little water and a damp brush. Finally, using a little bit of indigo ink to really intensify those dark central areas, and then using it a bit more watered down to increase the shadows on the leaves. And as always, I'm just adding in a few words and some notes to remind me what I've done. This is all personal preference, of course. Remember, it's your sketchbook. You can do exactly what you like in them. The value is in the playing and the exploring and just enjoying the process of creating. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next video.